Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year profit solo consulting business right in front of your eyes. This is a daily video series that follows the exact same structure every single day. I start by answering your questions. This means that you can pop your question down below in the comment section and then I'll answer it in tomorrow's video. Then I run you through business stats, which is this Excel sheet that I fill out every single day, and I've done it for the past 65 days. I talk a little bit about what I did today and what I'll do tomorrow, and then last but not least, I do some live strategy on how I'm planning to get to $1 million a year in personal profit while only taking calls 3 days a week with clients I consider friends while operating my business at 85% margins. Last month, I did 44k cash with 94% profit, so we need to spend more money. That is the goal for this month. No, I'm kidding. Right now I'm not letting any new clients in because I'm currently building my program. So I'm basically just spending the next 6 weeks finishing that up. And then I'm opening on new clients 1st of September. So what I do now is that I head into my community here on my daily updates channel. And then I scroll all the way down until I find a comment that I haven't answered yet. And then I answer it. Kind of simple. The first question is from D Singh. Let's read. Hey Fred, thanks again for answering my questions. I really appreciate your insights. I have 2 things I'd love your thoughts on. When working with coaches and consultants, do you think it's better to move away from a fixed monthly retainer and instead go with a revenue share model? I was considering a one-time setup fee to cover the initial work and then switching to a rev share moving forward. Curious what your take is on that. Interesting, bro. Well, the first model there is, right, is you can go for a monthly retainer. This is a 2. Then you can do rev or profit share, right? So you get a percentage of their revenue or cash or whatever you want to say. And then you can do a setup fee, which is basically just like a one-time thing, right? So the thing here, bro, that determines whether or not the retainer, the rev share or the profit share or the setup fee is worth it is basically 2 things. First of all is the potential of the client, right? And then it is also what you focus on, bro. Okay, so let's break it down. I, for example, run a consulting business, the digital coffee shop, where I'm currently working with around 20-ish coaching and consulting businesses, doing between 10 to all the way up to 120k per month, right? All of those people are paying me a flat fee. They're paying me between 9.5k for 4 months, all the way up to 20k for 6 months. It's depending on how much access they have to me. I haven't really talked about my extremely high ticket 20k product. I only have 2 clients on it because they speak with me weekly. But the whole purpose and the whole point is that I want to focus on upfront payments or MRR in like save cash retainer focused, right? So here I'm not gambling with my time in terms of like profit share or like these kind of things. It's just a one-time fee for a certain period of time with specific access to me and the things that I'm gonna help them with, right? It cost 9.5k to have me as your external business partner for the next 4 months, right? That is the focus of that business. Again, I do this because that's how I've decided to build this consulting side of my business and my career. And then I have my marketing agency, which is built on an initial setup fee and then rev and profit share, right? So this is where we operate. So I think the key difference here is where I'm focusing on cash setup fees and save cash is where I consult, I tell people what to do. And then in my agency, right, my 2 partners, Fred and Anton, they do it for the clients, which means that we are more in control of the ideal outcome that we want to happen. So that's where we take a setup fee to cover our initial time and knowledge and the things that we can. And then we take 30% profit, typically, inside of these coaching businesses that we operate and work with, all right? So bro, the thing that determines is basically the potential of the client, right? Let's say a client is doing 10k a month and you believe that you can get them to 30k a month, right? I, for example, took a client from 8 to 44k a month within fitness. And after that case study, I was like, okay, the next clients that I'm taking on that are fitness coaches, I'm probably going to take a revenue or profit share if that's what they're looking for, if they're looking for partners. And that's why I started my agency, right? Because I took that client and that client pays me 3.7k a month from 8k to 44k. That's 3.7k secure cash that came in for 6 months. But imagine if I had taken 20% profit. then that at month 4, that would have been 8K a month, right? So it would have been like first of 8K, 20% profit would have been 1,600. Then the next month I doubled the business, so like 3.2, then like 5, 6, 7, 8K in monthly payments to me, right? So the potential here of the client was greater than the upfront cash, which means that is where you want to take rev or profit share. And then of course your focus, as I just explained. So what I've learned, bro, is that always take a setup fee when you do rev or profit so that people are committed. And then always setup fee, right? And then you can do retainer or profit share, rev share. The only thing that matters between the two is the client potential. All right. This was a longer answer about pricing in general, but it's so important that you understand when to use rev or profit shares. There's also a big difference in revenue versus profit. We do profit share because we want to be in the same boat as our clients. We don't want to have a mixed relationship where we're interested in spending as much money as possible on ads and have a high revenue, because we're revenue share paid, where the client wants to protect their own pocket and profit so that they don't have to pay us that much. We want to be like, hey, we take 30% of your profit. We're all in the same boat, right? The goal here is simple: help as many people as possible with the things that you're very good at, and then make as much money from it. And then we're gonna split with whatever is left after paying ads, team, and content cost, right? Then we split that 70-30, and people love that because you're in the same boat. And I think that's just out of respect for people. That's how I run my pricing. Next question. Oh, sorry, bro. You had 2 questions. Oh my goodness. I'm planning to work specifically with fitness coaches where I handle content nurturing, conversions, conversations, and even setting up the sales process. But I'm debating whether I should let the coach handle the actual sales calls. That way, instead of the lead speaking to a separate closer, they're speaking directly with the coach, which might increase trust and conversion. So essentially, my role would be to bring in pre-qualified leads, and then the coach would close them. Would love to hear your take on this approach. Thanks again for your time and wisdom. It means a lot. The number one question, the 2 things that determines this, bro, is volume, right? And then basically, what do we call it? Ability from the coach. For example, we have clients that easily can sustain volume for a sales rep, but the client loves to do sales calls. So we let the client do the sales call. We have clients where the volume isn't high enough to have a full-time closer, and yet we have a part-time closer because the client's sales ability is non-existing, right? So I think, bro, if you go in like us and get paid on a profit share, then it's also in your best interest that this business makes money, which means that you should probably have the closer role sorted. If you want to do another way around, the client can, for example, pay per appointment. I wouldn't really recommend that. I've never done that, so I can't really speak on it. But I think, bro, make sure that you take these 2 off. Volume, go for a closer. But it is a mix of these 2. That's what I just said. Now I'm just speaking against myself. It's a mix of these 2, right? Volume and ability. So take a decision from case to case, bro. That's what we do. And we have a conversation with our clients of like, do you want to be in sales calls? Yes or no? And then it's our job to make a fitting solution there, right? In terms of coach versus closer closing rate, it depends a lot on the coach's sales abilities. Typically, the coach and the face will always have a higher close rate than an external closer, due to what Singh here mentions, which is trust, right? People have consumed the content, they've seen the stories, they've seen the result, they want to speak to the authority. But for many of our clients, we frame it as the coach is busy serving their clients. Like as a coach, you can't sit on calls and speak to strangers all day because you have to serve clients. And that has actually increased the close rate tremendously. So that's a good tip that you can use to really like dial in the authority for the closer as well. Also, we don't call it closers in fitness, for example. We call them co-coaches, or like, because people have a negative connotation towards salespeople. That's just life. So I hope that made good sense, bro. Again, an answer with some more context there as well. Brand Concept. I know I've seen you on LinkedIn, bro. Fred, right? I think so. If not, then sorry for calling you Fred. Been lurking for a bit now, but I'm very inspired and I've watched a lot of the videos here on this channel. I really like the format. Thank you so much, bro. It's my first year as a self-employed and been at it for 10 months. Nice. I mainly work as a freelancer within the SaaS space where I make Webflow websites, and UX/UI for SaaS. Very nice, bro. So I really try to focus on this niche. Good idea. Since I have experience from my former position as design lead in SaaS, and I want to build a micro SaaS. Oh, that's nice. Cash flow from agency clients to get into SaaS or something that is more of value. That is very, very smart. Question. I'm building a lead form where potential clients can get a free analysis of their SaaS or website. I've made a full automation, my own score system, so I can provide a lot of value up front. This is very nice. So they will get a personal 10-minute video, a score, concrete advice, and all on a unique landing page. Damn. The landing page is designed to make them understand that they need help and they can book me for a call, and I can also reach out. I was also thinking about making a low mid-ticket offer for them so that I can still collect cash from low mid-ticket client and still provide value if they can't afford to become high-ticket clients. Does it make sense to have this landing page that can help me determine the value of the lead so I know who's a high-ticket client, and those who are not could still be clients by buying my digital products as packages? Or what would you change for my concept? Hope it makes sense. Keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. First of all, very good idea, right? The whole process, or like the whole point of having a pre-called flow is basically to qualify the leads so that you're spending the time on sales calls with the right people, right? So if that in SaaS and UI and UX, it's not really my strongest point, but if this is a good way for you, Fred, to qualify these people, then this is the best way to do it, 100%. Because I think by them filling in their information, you can also determine which product or solution would be the best for them. So definitely see if you can create some sort of product that is basically self-liquidating. Also, when you start paid ads, you will probably have to do that at some point. I can imagine you want to scale. Then it's also nice to have a lower mid-ticket that takes care of basically so that you run ads for free into your high-ticket and main product, which is very good. So I think, bro, what you need is like a high-ticket offer, right? Then you need your main offer, and then you need a mid/low ticket, right? And then you want to expect it to be 75% from your main offer. There will always be people buying your high ticket, which is dope. And then the last basically 15% is basically just covering ad spend. So it's like a self-liquidating funnel. The whole point is that you don't really spend a lot of time with people here, but you still give them a good solution. This is like what you're known for, and this is for people who want speed or incredible access or a different outcome, right? So I really like this, Fred, because I also know that you want to get into content and posting more. And it's very cool that on all your LinkedIn posts, YouTube videos, Instagram, if you get into it, you can link that landing page, and then that is your call to action, right? It's like, if you want a free analysis of your SaaS or your website, then fill out the form below, then you'll actually get a 10-minute personalized video by me, where you can change it up. So it's always nice to have a specific call to action that you can always refer to. So I think big go here, bro, and definitely build out your offer stack in a way that you can help and serve more people so that you can make more money that then feeds into the loop, and then you make more money and have a better business and more leveraged and also way more authority just by implementing a higher ticket product. Like my thesis is that most agencies in Denmark, by just, for example, upgrading their prices or adding a premium tier pricing point, will make them 20 to 25% extra every month, because their perceived value exceeds, and there are always people who want more than what the average guy wants, right? So Fred, keep it up, bro. You've only been at it for 10 months. It's insane. So just run it up, bro. Brother, these videos are gold, man. Thank you so much, Daniel. From the topic of Portugal versus English, I've decided to make the B2C offer. Very nice. As I've noticed, there's a huge gap here, both in personal branding and especially info. Good stuff. For context, in Portugal, there's a huge culture of sports betting, gambling, trading, etc. Then we have a more normal level of online money making with proper business, traditional SMMA, consulting, drop shipping, and maybe video editing. Same in Denmark, bro. Also the sports betting and gambling, the degens. What I've done with the video that basically exploded and got me lots of calls and hundreds of DMs, a lot of numbers here, was the fact that I talked and funnel hacked popular figures here in Portugal that were selling their expertise about the niches above, explaining how and why they are selling courses and mentorships. Genius, right? One of the best ways to make top of funnel content is by taking familiar faces and then including that in your video and then showcasing your expertise. So you're basically borrowing attention, right? It's not the best content to make money, but it's a very good content piece to get a lot of attention and show your expertise. Then they watch another video or contact you, and then you sell. So here's my strategy. Sell a type of IPGA growth operating offer to these top of funnel people with the narrative of new untapped business. Yeah, I like that. There are lots of people with expertise and need your help. Yes. I genuinely think I can dominate a small portion of the online money-making market in Portugal because of this gap and proof of concept from only 3 videos posted. Market is not sophisticated. 100%, bro. Run it. I did $100,000 to $120,000 in Denmark with a population of 6 million people with how to start an agency. So you can definitely also run this. What is your honest opinion on this with the limited info you have that I gave you? Run it, bro. Run it. Like, what is business? Business is having a hypothesis, right? You have data, you have everything that you know. And then, based on everything that you know and what you see in the market, you make a decision, right? You, bro, have seen that there's proof of concept, there's a market for this group of people with this angle, with this product at this price point. So now you make that decision to go for it. Then you set yourself a period of time, let's say 90 days, where you like test it. Then you make a decision. Was it worth your time? Yes or no? Do you want to continue? Yes or no? And then you make another decision, where you take the feedback and then you just repeat, bro. So based on all of this, it speaks in your favor, right? Being a business owner is just being a sophisticated gambler, right? Where you have some money for ads, your knowledge, your time, and then you make decisions of where you get the highest leverage and highest ROI, right? So run it up, definitely. How could I dial in my messaging to scale this? Well, what you wrote here is basically the whole selling point of IPGA, right? There are lots of people with expertise that need your help, and you can capitalize on that. So if you don't have knowledge, if you are not a personal brand, here's how you can still get a piece of the cake. That's amazing messaging. It's the same that we had in Denmark. How would you structure an offer like this? Well, since it's beginners, the most important thing is the video program. Then it is some sort of one-on-one. So one-on-one is important with beginners, bro. They need hand holding. If not, they're just gonna crash out and information overload. So you need a client success manager or yourself to do one. You can just do one call after they've finished the video program. So like a tailored roadmap, and then put them in a community, and then make sure that the community does the hand holding and the accountability. And then I would do 6 months, and then I would probably price it at 3K. What would be the things you look at and analyze first for such a B2C market? Do it organic first, bro. Then start retargeting ads. Then start cold traffic ads with the sole goal in mind of figuring out what you're paying for a cold traffic customer and conversion, cash up front. But YouTube, double down on YouTube, double down on what's already working, retargeting ads, and then run it up, bro. Nice. Proud of you. Thanks, man. You're saving. I appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate it. It's a very good skill here in life, bro, to being able to recognize and say thank you. And you have that, Daniel. So I just wanted to say, keep that up. Like a big skill is just being able to credit people, right? Always credit. Always give credit to people, man. It's such a huge, life skill. So I have a dinner appointment with my girlfriend, and I will take these 2 questions tomorrow. I promise you. But I need to go in like 5 minutes here. So the next thing to do is business stats, right? So we fill out the big old sheet. Let's zoom in so that you can actually see something. There we go. And we start, let's see, we have 361 on the daily updates. Yep. Main channel is currently sitting on 6423. So 6423. Oh, there we go. My Instagram is currently at 21,017. And daily updates was at 361. Yesterday I made 2.1k, but it was an agency payment, so we have to divide it in 3 because I also have to pay my partners. So 719. So I just calculated like this, and then I spent no money. Very nice. I did spend some money today though, but you'll see on tomorrow. Nice. My to-do list today, it's Monday. I always have client calls on Mondays. So I had group call, and then I had 3 one-on-ones, and then I had status call with my agency. Just checking in on all clients and setting goals for the week, making sure everything runs. So yeah, that's basically it for strategy today. Do we have the time? No, we'll do a good strategy tomorrow when I have the time, I promise. But today, I gotta take the girlfriend out for some food. So it's nice. I really appreciate you watching these videos. I hope that you will. I hope all good fortune happens to you and your business. Just put one foot in front of the other every single day. Then you'll go further than you can ever imagine if you just try your best. Also on the days where it sucks. So thank you so much for watching these videos, and I will see you tomorrow.